I guess today is Easter, so we don't need to fast from meat anymore for Lent.
Well, maybe I can make something for Easter.
Oh, that looks good. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Max AC channel. For this month, since we are once again in the Lenten season this year, I thought we could repeat our theme for this month and do another round of Meatless March, where we will be making 5 more recipes that are as delicious as they are meatless. For this last episode, we will be making some Spanakopita. For this recipe, you will need 2 pounds or so of fresh or frozen spinach, 1 medium-sized onion, red is preferred but other onions should work fine, 2 to 3 scallions or green onions, 1 cup or so of chopped fresh herbs such as dill, mint, and parsley, 3/4 of a pound to 1 pound or more of feta cheese, depending on how much you like feta, 1 to 2 cups of shredded pecorino romano, 2 eggs, 1/4 teaspoon or so of nutmeg, 1 1-pound box of phyllo dough, or if you can't find it, you can use puff pastry instead, 1 to 2 sticks of melted butter, or a cup or so of olive oil for brushing the phyllo and for sautéing, and some salt and pepper for seasoning. First, before you want to make your spanakopita, make sure to defrost your phyllo dough at least 3 hours at room temperature or overnight in the fridge. Then, when you're ready to make it, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While we wait, we'll prepare the pie. First, remove the phyllo dough from the fridge to allow it to warm to room temperature by carefully unrolling the dough and covering it with a damp towel. Next, we'll prepare the spinach and cheese filling. If you're using frozen spinach, defrost according to your package instructions, or if you want to follow along, defrost it by boiling a bit of salted water and adding in the spinach until it defrosts. Once your spinach is no longer frozen, remove from the pot and add it to a colander over a bowl to catch the excess liquid. If you're using fresh spinach, cut off the stems and then roughly chop up the leaves. Toss this into a pan with some olive oil and cook until the leaves start to wilt. You can do this in batches, but the spinach should shrink in size after a little while, allowing you to cook the whole bunch. You may add some salt to draw out some more moisture, but once your spinach has wilted, remove from the pan and add it to a colander over a bowl to catch the excess liquid. Then, for either type of spinach, use a spoon or your hands to squeeze out any extra liquid trapped in the spinach. This step is important because otherwise your spanakopita will be soggy and sad. Next, once your spinach is ready, we can move on to the rest of the ingredients. Finally, chop up your onion and then toss this into your pan with some olive oil and cook this for 4 minutes or so until they soften. And while your onion cooks, mince up your herbs and chop up your green onion. When your onions have softened, toss in the herbs and cook them for 30 seconds or so to help release some of their aromatics. Then remove this from the heat. Next, once your ingredients are ready, in a large bowl, add in your drained spinach, sauteed onions and herbs, and chopped green onions, and give this a mix. Then add in your feta cheese, pecorino romano, eggs, nutmeg, and salt and pepper if needed, and mix this until combined. Then, once your filling is ready, we'll put the pie together. So grab your cup of melted butter or olive oil, and your baking sheet or pan, and brush the bottom of your pan with some of it. Then, grab a single sheet of the phyllo dough and layer it onto your pan. Repeat this process of brushing each layer with olive oil and adding another layer until you've used about half of your phyllo dough. Don't worry if your dough rips, it's why we do multiple layers. Just make sure to coat each layer with your oil. Also, don't worry if some of it sticks out of the pan, as we will just fold it over once we add in the filling. Just make sure to coat the sides of the pan each time as well, to help build the wall of dough. Then, when you've made sufficient layers with half of your dough, pour in your spinach and cheese filling into the phyllo dough bowl, and smooth out the filling to an even surface. Fold over the excess dough over the filling, and brush this with some more oil. You may continue layering the phyllo dough as before with the rest of the dough, but I like to add a nice flaky crust to the top by covering the filling with a couple of layers and then bunching up individual layers of the dough and covering this like so, creating a textured top. But you are welcome to keep the top of your spanakopita flat if you wish. Now you can either bake it right away, or you can put it in the fridge, or you can even freeze it to bake it later. But once you're ready to bake your dish, top the final layer with a final brush of your oil, poke some holes into the top layer to let the steam escape, and then place it in the oven and then bake it for 30 to 40 minutes or until it turns golden brown. If baking from frozen, no need to defrost it. Just bake it for an additional 10 to 15 minutes or so, and it should turn out as good as fresh. Remove it from the oven and let it cool for 10 minutes or so before you cut into it. But once you do, your spanakopita is ready to eat. With the theme for this month being inspired by the Lenten fast, and with this last Sunday also being Easter, I thought it would be fun to do a traditional recipe that is made for Easter that is also vegetarian, and so that's why I chose to make this recipe. Although not strictly made for Easter, spanakopita is usually made whenever there's a party or celebration in Greece, which of course would include Easter. However, Greek Orthodox Christians, whose Lent typically happens at a different time than Catholics, do usually make a fasting version of spanakopita, which is the same dish, except without the eggs and cheese, due to their more strict fasting rules as compared to Catholics, who only have to fast from meat. But even with just the greens in this pie, spanakopita is a delicious dish to make as a party appetizer, or even as a nice meal any day of the year. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know how it went if you decided to make it, and let me know if there's anything you want me to make next. Like the video, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to this channel for more episodes of the Max AC channel. And remember, if you want to stay cool in the kitchen, turn your AC to the max and watch the Max AC channel. Then add in your nutmeg,